Welcome to the Could Be Better podcast, season 2, the video edition.
Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought?
Not I. We are joined with Nicole and Spencer from our new podcast family.
Yeah, buddy.
The Network.
The Network.
So we're going to kind of just start in by kind of talking a little bit. Season 2 has a new sponsor.
Congrats on
that's
season
right.
2.
Yeah, so this episode is and this podcast Network is brought to you in part by Texas Roadhouse. At this point, we are, craving salads all the time. Colin, whenever you feel like, hey, I need to get the biggest salad, where do you go?
I go to Texas Roadhouse.
Where is it? Where can people find it?
411 Pegasus Drive. I don't.
That was so close, though.
That
was close.
See,
It's on, I think it's near Pegasus Court. But you can't
is
miss
it?
it.
Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I'm
See,
surprised you got that far.
Nobody's ever seen our actual live reactions before, and
Oh, it's
now
gonna be
they are
awful.
seeing that.
People are going to know, and now I feel upset, though, because you're making more eye contact to the camera than you are to me.
Oh, that's not true.
That's a little
In my
upsetting.
mind.
A little upsetting. Also, podcast is also brought to you in part by our lovely friends
At Sutter Home.
at Old Mother Brewing
wait,
Company,
whoops.
which, by the way, sometime this year, because by the time this comes out, it is 2023, they are going to be having their own kitchen in the back. And so they're going to be having their 50-50 burgers in the back, and it's going to be awesome. So we're super excited. 50-50.
So, do you want to get into the whole network thing, or do you just want to jump into?
We'll kind of say that towards the end.
Okay,
But yeah,
all right.
I think right now, based on our pre-show meeting that we had, what we need to do now is our new rundown. So the format's obviously different. We're here on video.
Yeah.
We
Fuck you.
We are sorry, Mom. So
Not you, Mom.
So we're on video. We think some of this new stuff is going to work with these drops.
I don't know. We have no idea.
We can't hear
We might
anything.
call you in 3 days, like, hey.
Yeah, our
none of this
producer.
works.
Yeah, he says
Right.
he can hear it. It's fine.
Oh,
it's fine.
good.
Yeah, it's
What's our producer's name?
Jim?
I thought it was Donnie.
It's
Yeah.
Jim.
Oh.
Donnie's dead.
We've met Donnie. I've not met Jim.
Yeah. Jim is actually Donnie's creator.
Dead. Oh my
Hanson,
god.
full circle. Didn't even plan that one.
Oh, gee, whew, man.
But yeah, so we're here in video, and I don't know how this is going to go. So what we do know how things are going to go, though, is we have shows.
We do.
It is the new year.
I'm never going to another show.
Did you play Death Cab on New Year's Eve?
Mm-mm.
Good for you.
Wait,
Play
Sorry.
Death Cab on New Year's Eve?
Mm-mm.
Did you play Death Cab on New Year's Eve?
no, but did anybody, as we tape this, did I send you that
No,
screenshot?
I saw
But
it.
did you see
yeah,
it?
I saw the tour release today.
So yeah,
Tour announcement.
Postal Service and Death Cab are going to tour next
wow.
year.
Yeah.
20-year anniversary?
25th year, I think. And anybody who wants to go see the Postal Service and Death Cab for Cutie in one show, with
Colin
Chris,
is buying tickets for
that's
you.
right.
First
That's right.
caller.
As long as the Los Angeles Chargers win.
Is that who your bet is this week?
I don't know yet.
Because
they play
this-
tonight, I think.
This
actually.
segment, no. Tonight is tonight when we're taping is Vegas and the Rams.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, Baker Mayfield got to start. Anyway, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
But
It's coming out in 5 weeks.
Yeah. But this segment brought to you by FanDuel. Place your bets using promo code MEH. Anyway, so we have shows coming up. So we have 2 shows. We have Saturday, January 14th. And by Saturday, I think it's Saturday. Can you double check what day January the 14th
I will. You
is?
keep talking.
Yeah,
though.
so it's Shadow Apparatus, Bliss House, friends of the podcast, so they're going to be on, and they went from like real electronica stuff, and now they're just like raw punk rock. They're just like, yeah, guys,
Be Electronica.
Oh, wow.
This
Yeah.
is the Postal Service.
yeah. And what day is that day?
Wait,
Visual checking.
well,
All right.
what
So
did-
anyway,
yes,
so it is
still.
January 14th, and it is a day of the week that is maybe Friday or maybe Saturday, and it's Shadow Apparatus, Bliss House, and then Sir Orlando. So it's going to be a really cool
Nice.
show. Dylan from TV is going to be running sound that
Right
night. It's
on.
going to be a great time.
Say hi to
Um,
Dylan.
How long does it take for you to check the fucking calendar? Like God! And I'm the first one that cussed in the new year, so that's
you
that's
did.
great.
What's
That's
the date
great.
again?
January 14th.
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday. I can't wait. And
Our
speaking of
crack
Saturday
research
Night
team.
Fever, we have our return of Emo Night 2.
That's right. Hey, I was left out of it.
Dude,
See that right there?
It's crazy.
All right, yeah, crazy.
So
yeah,
we
real crazy.
we have January.
Real fucking crazy.
People can now see the salt falling out of the sky on video now.
Hey, go to Emo Night. If you do, I'll hate you. But go to Emo Night.
So it's Emo Night 2. We have Soul Meets Body playing an Avril Lavigne set.
Hey there.
We have
Skater Boy.
I can't wait. It's
Yeah,
a big
I
key
can't
change
wait.
there. We have Weather Worn coming back because COVID sucks, and so they're now back to play the same set they were supposed to play this year for Taking Back Sunday. And then we have
Your lipstick is gold.
we have our front desk manager Brett's band is playing.
Your front desk.
No, our guy. He works in the
Front
building
as well.
He's our
the
doorman.
studios.
Yeah,
That's
the
right,
studio.
yeah.
I mean,
That's right. This is
obviously.
yes.
So
Alkaline Trio, right?
Alkaline Trio,
Isn't
yeah.
it?
They're not playing any of the songs that I like, so I'm gonna go out and smoke a cigarette. I don't smoke cigarettes.
Like a dog shit and razor blades. That's what that is.
Cool. And then the opener is I am playing in a cover band with one of the co-owners of Old Mother.
Fuck him.
Nick, thank
You
you.
hear that, Nick? Fuck you, Nick.
And Corey from San Pao.
Nice.
And
Okay, Corey.
and then Devin from Tending to the Corpses. We're
Don't
gonna
know
do
you, but I
Blink-182
hate
covers.
you.
Nice.
So it should be
All right.
cool. So we're gonna play all the songs that you want to sing along, but none of the songs that I wanted to play. Anyway, so that is January 28th.
Maybe if
Emo
he had
Night.
his best friend Colin in the band, that
Boom.
would have been different.
And it's going to be a good time. So anyway, so those are 2 shows that are coming up in this month, and so it's going to be a good time. Free.
That's right.
21 plus to
Right.
drink.
The dog days of January, the dog days of winter.
That's what I hear that they're called.
Yes.
As we wait around for Phil, right? Cool.
That's right.
So
My
that's,
dude.
That's that. Right now, we're doing
We're going to
great.
play a song, right?
We're doing great on time, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead, and so I know people have been just gazingly looking at our two lovely guests, but right now we are going to be introducing their podcast, and we're gonna kind of talk about that a little bit. It's gonna be a good time. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play a song to cue into it, and we'll get back to the interview. we are back with the host and co-host?
Host and
Co-co-
producer is what we're saying.
I love that.
Yeah.
So host and producer.
Yeah, me producer. Nicole host.
Oh, we didn't need to. We didn't need the clarification.
It's evident.
I'm the
behind the scenes guy.
The podcast. This is not my magnum opus, and so we are excited for the debut. What day did we say we were releasing episodes?
January.
January, but do we pick a day of the week?
January.
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Okay. So
She looked at you so earnestly.
Oh,
you
no,
said,
no,
which day? And
she's
said,
like, she's like, you're
January.
holding me
That's
down
the
to this.
day.
What is this? And so the podcast will be live now. And so you had terrible first guests, well, can you tell the people because we'll put your episode in our feed later after today comes out, just to kind of help push that a little bit. But can you tell people that don't know you what this podcast is and why you felt compelled to do it?
Yeah. So I think the idea was born kind of like in passing when Spencer and I were working together. So we were like driving to a job site, and it was just
you were doing like you working at Starbucks. You
we were working in residential remodeling, which Spencer is still doing. But
it was 2020 mid-pandemic.
Yeah.
So we were working together throughout the summer.
Yeah, and we were just driving to a job site, and like it just popped into my head, like that kind of tension that a lot of artists feel about like the creative process of like when is something in its fully fledged form and like when is it to a point that is shareable, and the amount of times like I've had friendships where things are shared in passing that I know something that's not in its fully fledged form is actually like totally meaningful to whoever's made it, and so that kind of idea of deconstructing what like a magnum opus is, which is supposed to be kind of like your life's work, like star achievement.
That's us. Man. This is our life's work.
Well, it's like a super Western, like white man idea of like what, but really like about what art is. And so, what we're trying to do is carve out space for the small stuff so that we can talk about like what is creative process and like why does it mean something, and can we like find something authentic in that process to get the creative folks that we look up to so much to like share that in a way that is not conventionally shareable.
So no, I had the privilege of listening to an interview you had already conducted.
A future episode.
Yes, a future episode. By the way, check it out at texasroadhouse.net. And
It's .org, actually.
It's .org. Or .gov, actually. But you went in on, what was it, bowls?
Bolos.
Bolos?
Bolos,
Like
baskets,
you
and
had
babies.
50 minutes.
Yeah.
It's the only podcast that has ever existed for 50 minutes talking about bolos.
Yeah.
Baskets and babies.
How was that? It was, that's true.
Or not babies, babes.
Bolos and baskets, comma, baby.
Baby, okay.
It's an
That's
affirmative
right.
baby.
That's right. I said babies, but yeah, baby.
Baby, we got this podcast, baby.
Hey.
Texas Roadhouse, baby.
Thank you.
But what I wonder, like when you get into that, when you get into those conversations, it felt like you found yourself immersed in all of it. Was that how it felt as it actually happened? Was that something? First of all, did you know anything about bolos going in? If you did, you're far better than I. Second of all, if you just were learning things as you talked to your very dear friend who you've known forever, was that something that you just kind of lost yourself in?
Yeah, I think in the first batch of episodes, we kind of intentionally focused on folks that we know, so that we can kind of like ease in with a kind of like base level of context, to like really dig into the kind of conversations we want to have, so we can get good at the kind of conversation we want to have, so that we can kind of then kind of like branch out from there. But yeah, I mean, we've definitely purchased a few bolos as presents for friends.
There we go.
I have yet to pull one off myself, but it's in the works.
One day soon. Stay tuned.
It seems tough.
Yeah, and
I was gonna say that was a fun interview, even like behind the scenes listening to, because like we're talking about bolos, which is just like this Western looking like semi tie, semi necklace, and SJ gets into like being a queer person in Baltimore, and like what a bolo can inhabit, like as part of like your
ultimate like gender neutral accessory.
Yeah,
it was cool. Like I hadn't thought about it like that.
And
before.
it was a unique, almost like a reclaiming of like this thing that is like, again, like predominantly like a male Western thing, and then just kind of just like this claiming it for, hey, like it's not that, and but then like it's still badass. Like I'm not saying like hey, like things that aren't Western or male can't be badass, but it's like, but then SJ was saying. They put like a fucking snake head on something, and like in my have you seen it? Like
I know I haven't seen that one, but I've seen their studio, and there's just like a whole collection of things that will be future bolos.
Which is if you use promo code could be better, you get 10% off your first bolo order. Just kidding. We'll pay full price.
But I've seen their practice like take on many forms, and even in the past like 6 months, we collaborated on a reso print that went along with a sculptural cake that they made out of resin,
like an edible cake.
It was not an edible cake. It was made out of resin, but it was like a sculpture.
Why would you make a cake that you can't eat?
But I got to see that.
You just ignored that. You see her? She said, but
we got to. I got to see them make this sculpture that was for a gallery setting, right? And kind of work alongside them to create this print that went with it. And then got to witness this bolo making practice kind of emerge in a more playful space, right? And so much art making is like under this umbrella of being brilliant, right? Or being like high achieving, right?
Sure.
And so that practice was one that was really fun to kind of jump into to kind of represent what we're going for.
Yeah. So let's not spoil the rest of the episode for people that are going to be tuning in later this week, because you should like and subscribe. Tell us a little bit about what else they could expect from season 1. Like, just high level. Who are you talking to? I mean, do you have Banksy on? Like, what's going on?
No Banksy just yet, but
look at that. Yet you heard it. Write it down. Hold them to it.
Yet.
Yeah, I think in the first season, we're really trying to focus on people who are local. To kind of ground us in the time and place that we exist in, and also. Kind of intentionally curating a list of guests that represent a lot of different disciplines. So we've got our bolo maker, we've got performance artists, we've got photographers, couple
ceramicist,
ceramicist,
glassblower.
Oh, yeah. Chihuly, right?
We already have more variety than we've ever had.
I know.
We were just like, hey, do you sing a song? Come on this podcast.
You want to come on?
Do you like steak? Texas Roadhouse?
Do you like salads? Do you like beer? So that's really cool. And I think...
that is very cool.
Yeah.
Man.
I think, not really we, but like the collective we with like this network, which is just ridiculous, are bringing to the table something that I don't think is done in a lot in Frederick with like, oh, here's a podcast about a visual medium. That's hard. Yeah. Like nobody wants to do that.
Right.
So thank you for picking up that mantle. We're excited about this season. We're excited about this podcast. We're thrilled that it's you leading the charge, and then it's like I don't know. It just feels really exciting that it's something new. It's something different.
And I think we're trying to do something that not a lot of visual art podcasts do. Like having a podcast about visual art is a challenge because you can't, represent that in the conversation, right? You have to kind of tell the story.
Is there a podcast that you listen to that's even somewhere close for like fans if they're like, oh, I like this? It's kind of like that.
That's a good question. I don't know of one myself.
And I put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like
Pat
my answer
McAfee.
is no.
Pat McAfee, gosh.
And the reason why is that I think the art podcasts that I've tried to listen have such an academic angle to them that it's really hard for me to kind of get excited about listening to them. So we're trying to kind of thread this needle of having like a conversation or conversational and like authentic connection to like the humanity of it all and like the connection to art making that like makes it worth it.
I want to circle back. Sorry, I'm cutting you off because we had said like the inspiration of the idea was just, you know, driving to work, and we had this or you had this thought of what it could be. Originally, it was just going to be like a printed thing. Nicole is a printmaker, so it was just going to be like a short zine, and that kind of like got modified into maybe artist talks, and then you guys started your podcast, and where we were in life, I don't know, I started listening to your guys', got really excited, and it just made sense for us to start kicking around, what if this was also a podcast?
And you would just send me ideas when I was like stressed at work with like no capacity to think about anything creative at all. He would just be like, remember when you said that thing about not my magnum opus? It could be this thing or that thing. And he would just like text me.
So you've had that name for a long time.
Since 2020.
Yeah.
Dang, that's awesome.
Chris and I hate text each other. That's what we do.
Yeah, all it is just Pat McAfee gifts. But
the one thing we didn't do yet was actually explain the song that led us into this, which I think I don't know how we're 10, 15 minutes in. Why did we play that song to introduce you guys?
Yes, so that song is Pulling Teeth by the band TV, which I happen to be the drummer for.
Just so happened
to be the drummer for.
Well, it's royalty-free music, right?
Right. But I love that song. It's super catchy. My bandmate Dylan wrote that before I came along to play with them. And I love that song. It fits. I feel like it fits our tone really well. So when you listen to "This Is Not My Magnum Opus," you'll hear a little snippet of that song.
Perfect.
Before we, get into the episode.
That's great.
That's awesome. Yeah. So we're going to kind of wrap up the segment here, and we're going to kind of get into our new specialties themed segment. So let's hit that bumper. Wait, before we do, thank you for coming on. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being open to putting yourself out there. Podcasting is weird. Podcasting is awkward, and it's
fuck podcasting.
Yeah, it's great. But thank you for all of you subscribers. You know what sucks? Our joke of the live feed now is real. Like for those tuning into the live feed, it's now an actual thing, and like it bums me out so much. So anyway,
and you can see this is a studio too.
Yeah, and you can see that.
So
you can see that we're professionals. I also feel super self conscious because I typically will be like, I'm doing all like hey, let's move the things. But anyway, let's
right. The music is going. The music is going for our specialties commercial. Go ahead.
This is our specialties segment where we ask our guests. So what we will.
We got 5 apiece.
Yeah, 5 apiece. So I'm going to give you 5, and Tom's going to give you 5. It's going to be back and forth. But this is brought to you by
tell the people
our sponsor, Specialties. So if you use our promo code and or just say, hey, could be better, has sent me your way, you get 10% off your first order of anything you want at Specialties. Nice. So,
including bottles of pop.
Do they have pop
or soda? I guess.
I don't know about that. I'll see. But shirts, hoodies, office swag, whatever you want. It is they do it all. And Hannah and the folks over at Specialties, they'll do Sutter Home wine bottles too. They do it all. Again, Specialties 10% off your first order if you tell them Could Be Better sent you. Now, in this segment, we are going to do rapid fire, so you cannot think for too long. Which, sorry for both of you.
Real hard.
I know it's okay,
but
it's
like the anti-our podcast.
I know, and we have to also make sure it's like, hey, for folks that listen to this podcast or checking them out, their podcast is very different, and that's okay. Check it out; it is worth your time. So, first question goes to Colin, and are we? And I think we should. We're not doing 20 questions total.
Right.
Figure out who wants to do
it. All right.
Fight
first one to Nicole. The song that means the most to you in the world.
Ooh, oh my God.
You're working at -5 words.
Most to me in the world. Iron and Wine, Naked as We Came.
Ooh,
that's a good
I don't know about that. Nicole.
Wow. Does
No. I know. Spencer's very happy. I didn't.
Yeah.
So ultimate guest on your podcast. This is not my magnum opus found, and we'll plug it in the show notes. But you know where you can find stuff.
Okay, it's gonna be niche.
I mean, I wasn't.
Anne
That's
Hamilton
what I thought, yeah.
is installation artist. She's done stuff at like she's Guggenheim level, like National Gallery installations and stuff. But check her out. She's awesome. And
what's her name again?
Anne Hamilton.
And we're coming to you. I'll talk to your people. Super young, super old. Where does she kind of fall on the age spectrum?
Older.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
So she listens to podcasts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's definitely a subscriber. I mean, come on. Anne.
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse
Quit
is
fucking
here.
around.
Yeah. We'll treat you to any dinner you want at Texas Roadhouse. All right.
Spencer.
Yeah, buddy.
Your favorite drummer in the world.
Oh, you asked me that last time, and I choked. And I said,
well, you've had months then to think about it. Quit
I'm
bullshit.
probably gonna choke again.
God damn! How many times you got to choke?
I think it is just the same guy. This is the drummer from Ashes Burn, just because that band was so integral.
But which
in me
drummer
coming up? I didn't even know they had multiple.
Yeah, so
just the drumming of that band on "Son I Loved You" at Your Darkest.
So that
album.
That guy's name I think was Pascal, and the drummer that they have now is Aaron Lunsford, and that's different guy.
Yeah,
it sounds different.
Yes,
he founded Mumford and Sons.
Boo, Lunsford and Sons. Okay,
you're up.
Back to Spencer.
You see how it keeps following me?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
So you recently, and by recently I mean it's been months now at this point. You took your bike and you gave it some really bright pink tires.
Yeah.
What's the next outrageous thing you're doing to a mode of transportation? Not really a quick question, but I froze.
That's not bad.
What the fuck was that?
I like that question.
Well, yeah.
So we're actually, it's not like a huge deal, but like they're doing like a Christmas bike ride.
Oh, that's right.
Bike party.
Bike party
in Frederick.
Okay, you know the date?
It's the 17th of December.
By the time this
we had a
airs-
great time
We
there.
had a great time?
Everybody,
It was
we
great.
saw you there. Thanks for showing
I
up.
got a bike with pink tires on it.
We did it.
Spencer's bike was wild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you wouldn't get hit. I mean, we made tons of inappropriate jokes
lights
about that.
all over the thing.
Yeah, it was great.
Yep.
Okay. Since this now I'm gonna zone in on things that people don't want to zone in on. 2022. This is gonna come out in 2023, correct?
Yeah.
Nicole, my dude. Best movie you saw in 2022.
I might not have seen any new movies.
You haven't seen a single gosh
like
darn
nothing.
movie.
I'm trying to think of one. I mean,
Good for you.
Well,
we haven't seen any.
What's
Like,
the,
any
what's
new
what's the favorite you
movies.
actually saw then? Maybe it doesn't have to be from 2022.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what they say.
that's usually
Christmas
Every
time.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. That's when you
Favorite
start.
that's not okay. Fine, Chris, you're up. This is ridiculous. We're canceling.
Wait, you wake up in the middle of the night and you need to grab something on your nightstand. What are you grabbing?
Our cat. Because
Yes.
he's yelling.
And knocking things over.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, Spencer.
Yeah,
this
buddy.
goes to you. What's the favorite movie? No, I'm kidding. So, Spencer.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, I want to ask you why you keep calling me buddy because I
That's a good word.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I'm,
the
I'm
buddy
kind of
guy.
getting into it, but
Buddy.
it still kind of feels kind of weird. But
I don't like you. Like
you
sitting
guys,
back and
you
forth.
guys have already explained that you don't eat meat, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So Spencer, this
Yeah.
is, I guess, question 7 between the two of us.
He's counting.
We'll do
What
this
do you
all night.
miss the most about meat?
Oh, that's great. I grew up in southern part of Virginia, close to the North Carolina border, where there is like mustard-based pulled pork.
Oh
barbecue
boy, that
sandwiches.
sounds
Yeah,
great.
barbecue.
Ooh, it's the best.
Oh man,
I super miss
Okay.
that. There's one place in Baltimore that does a jackfruit like vegan barbecue, and they have that mustard sauce, and it's phenomenal.
What's the place called? You know?
yeah.
It's at Blues.
Blue Pit?
Blue Pit. Yeah,
Blue Pit, you are a sponsor right now.
Yeah, it should come on. I love jackfruit
Yeah.
barbecue. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole,
The fuck was that? He had all that time to think.
no, it's here, but it's a loaded question. What do you want to see Frederick get in the next 5 years?
It's supposed to be rapid fire, man.
That was rapid fire.
Yeah, that's a deeper question.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was-
a consistent venue. Like
Mm-hmm.
consistent and dependable.
Sure.
trustworthy.
That's 8. These are our final
Yeah,
ones.
these are our final ones. These are our final ones. I'm going back to Spencer.
Yeah, buddy.
Fucking buddy. If anybody calls me buddy, again,
Calling the buddy hotline.
do you like savory or sweet?
Sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So if you go and you get Sour Patch Kids,
Mm-hmm.
do you like the sour or do you like the
Savory?
patch?
Dude, it's so
Or
bad.
do I like the patch?
No, because sometimes they're too sour, man. Sometimes like the watermelons. The watermelons are so good at balancing that
Yeah,
out.
those are very tasty.
Yeah.
I like Sour Patch Kids.
You
I
do?
I like the sour.
They're
yeah,
not too
yeah.
sour for you? How about you, Nicole?
What is this? Stealing my question. You
Fuck
can't ask
off,
2
fuck
questions.
off. Dude,
Never been a fan of Sour Patch Kids.
Look at
what
that.
the fuck?
All right, Nicole, final question, and we're going to get out of this segment because we have a couple more things to talk about. But so I need to know, as a new podcast host, you'll get crazy fans. We have fans that send us stuff all the time. It's inappropriate and wild and all sorts of things. But please, yeah, Pinot Grigio for
Send it to
for my buddy.
Chris Perry, care of.
Could be better studios. All right.
We have a P.O. box.
If someone can send you something to make your day, as a new podcast host to tell you that they appreciate you, what would you love to get in the mail? And you cannot say a handwritten note
bullshit
or a card.
question.
Like I'm talking something tangible, something that's just like
Like a care package.
a frivolous care package. That's right.
Spindrift sparkling water.
Oh, a specific flavor.
The grapefruit one is pretty good.
It's good. It's
Also,
delicious.
just the classic lemon is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong with lemon. Speaking of lemons and how delicious they are, thank you both for coming on this podcast.
That was beautiful.
I was so lost.
We
for
are
the last
same. So
30 seconds.
We're gonna
of
now.
that.
So
I don't know what sparkling water is. Go ahead, Chris.
It's like wine but carbonated.
Fizzy water.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
don't like
non-alcoholic.
fizz.
I love
I don't like
fizz.
fizz,
All about
man.
the fizz. So real fast, we've been talking about the podcast network. So we've been talking about This Is Not My Magnum Opus. We're actually launching another podcast that is coming out tomorrow, and it's the Weekly with Kiki.
Nice.
Well, tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Christmas. Tomorrow's.
No. So today is the 4th of January.
Oh, today's the 4th of. Wow. How was your New Year's? How'd that go?
Time has flown by.
I went to bed at 8 o'clock and it was fucking great. But so today's January 4th, and no, today, January
I'm
5th.
way
Just
into
kidding.
that. Oh,
January,
just
January
kidding.
5th. Yeah.
JK.
Rowling.
Is that what it is?
Rip. All right.
Whoa,
so
hey, can't say that.
No, I just
Can't
said-
do that no more,
Sorry.
huh?
Sorry, guys.
Sorry about yo. Cancel him, not
Yeah.
me. Cancel him.
That's fine. Anyway, so January 5th, the next day, we have the Weekly with Kiki that's coming out, and so it's gonna we're gonna launch it on her feed, and then it's gonna be in our podcast podcast feed, so y'all can check it out.
It's gonna be great.
My favorite, I can't wait for this, and you can tell me what your favorite segment is in her show, but.
You're gonna say it's the dickheads of the week,
Dude, the top 3 dickheads of the week is so funny.
Yeah.
Like I was dying. It's just
that was my stomach. I didn't even. Did you hear
no,
that?
it was a car.
That was crazy. I didn't even fart, and I fart a lot.
He does.
But I didn't fart there. That was my stomach.
That's because
Wow.
you've only had Lay's.
I got to
Okay,
I
so-
gotta eat. I definitely gotta eat. Yo,
So anyway,
is McDonald's open late?
yeah. So we're doing this podcast network. It's a joke. It's tons of
Get
fun.
this guy some McDonald's.
We're
I need some food.
super proud of it. I'm trying to bring it back in. It's gonna be cool. So you're gonna see some more podcasts show up in our
Love
feed,
Kiki.
Yes,
and it's
Kiki's
gonna be
great.
be cool. And for those who don't know, it's Kiki from Out 40 Media, and it's just gonna be super cool.
Most definitely. And what you should actually do is listen to their podcast and listen to Kiki's podcast,
And then unsubscribe from
never,
our podcast.
unsubscribe from the Could Be Better podcast.
Listen next week because Kiki will be on next week, so you kind of hear a little bit more of like what she's doing. But then after that, it's just
including the 3 dickheads of the week.
yeah.
And I think all 3 with the ones she recorded was Kanye West, Kanye West, Kanye West.
Yeah, it was pretty great. Which I mean is also fitting. Apparently, he did show up in Frederick, which if you didn't know,
Well,
live on a rock.
we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was.
Yeah.
She broke that news.
So anyway, you can find all of our podcasts on our website. So if you just go to couldbebettermeh.com/podcasts, you'll find This Is Not My Magnum Opus. You'll find the Weekly with Kiki, and everything will be listed up there. And you can have quick links to wherever you stream. But if you have to use Spotify, that's fine. All right. So we need to talk about our final part here, which is again, you're watching this on YouTube. So we have a YouTube channel. So we are trying to build up our subscribers. So I think we have like Colin's mom, my mom, and then like I think Nicole's sister, and that's about it, who like subscribe.
My mom hasn't talked to me in 5 years. Nicole's sister, she talked to me the other day.
Yeah, she's nice. Yeah. So anyway, so like and subscribe on YouTube. Tell us you're listening. Tell us what you don't like about it. I'm sorry the room looks like this, but this is the best that our money can do.
Fuck you! This is the greatest studio. But come on, guys, you guys got a studio.
Got an organ.
Yeah, it's got an organ.
It's got organs. All right, so the cool,
not many that work.
The cool part about having the YouTube channels, we also so we have our live shows at Old Mother, which you've already talked about at the top of the show. Spencer does sound there, and then Spencer's cohort in TV also does sound at Old Mother. And what's really cool about it is Dylan does they've been doing some live recordings of the shows, and what's been super cool is we came up with an idea of let's do a bootleg, and I said, what's a bootleg?
No, you hated it. You hated this idea.
I wasn't sure what it was, and then Dylan was kind of like, yeah, dude, just do this like thing where we can just put it up and people can just check out the shows. I was like, okay. And so it really kind of turned into this really cool idea where the live sets that are happening, we are putting them up on YouTube for people to check out. You've heard them.
Oh yeah,
they don't sound bad.
They do not.
So when we say bootlegs, it's a little disservice.
Right.
I mean, they don't sound amazing.
Right. Yeah, it's not like a studio session or anything.
No.
You're getting some recording off of the mixer. And then some of just the room sound. So it sounds like it's in a venue. It sounds like it's a live show, but it sounds like really, really good.
Yeah. And if you hate how it sounds, but you want to support us doing shows with Old Mother, send us some money on PayPal and we'll buy a new mixer. Thanks. But so we now have a dedicated playlist for our bootleg episodes or for our bootleg songs. And so we're going to be putting in a bootleg song coming up here from our front desk managers band, Crooked Hills.
No.
It's that show. And that show that they were on, it was Ben's birthday. So shout out to Ben. You're like 40 now, and you're old as dirt.
Happy birthday, Ben.
Happy birthday, Ben. And so this song is from the band Asthma Castle, which is from a bunch of other bands that's like a super group or something.
And if you like what you hear, you can come to any show that we put on at Old Mother.
For free.
And perhaps if you're a band, you could actually be featured on this, which is... That's scary.
That's something.
That's certainly something. But Asmund Castle, I'm told, is a very good band. That's what you that is what you say.
They shred. So
I don't know. I don't keep up with music anymore.
I know. Apparently, you shouldn't be writing about music because you don't listen.
That is so true.
I love that comment.
That is so true.
That comment makes you laugh so hard. It's all right. So we are now well over our time. So this is a Could Be Better bootleg. Shout out to Dylan. You're the best. Stick around for the end of the episode. We got a new outro to kind of share some stuff with you. Happy birthday, Ben.
Happy birthday, Ben. Yes. Adam Jarvis on the drums, everybody.
Could Be Better podcast is allegedly heard in 25 different countries around the world, and definitely still not recorded in a bedroom.
Yeah, okay. Still, check out our worldwide website, www.couldbebettermeh.com, for links to our social media and our fancy brand new revamped YouTube channel that now has actual video.
And if you don't like what you see, well, neither do we. But if you want to hear from smarter, better, more educated and cultured people, please check out the new podcasts. This Is Not My Magnum Opus and The Weekly with Kiki on our brand new Could Be Better podcast network. And don't hesitate to leave us or them, actually, probably just them, a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, Chris, did I miss anything?
Yeah, man, we do a lot of shows. Whatever.
Well, can I find them on our website?
I'm Chris Perry.
And I'm Colin McGuire, and we are out of time. So for now, remember, everybody, this always could be better.